Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But me and the Lord, we got an understanding. We're on a mission from God.
Yeah, man, on a mission from God. It's Aaron, Dave, and Patrick, but a different kind of Patrick today. It's P-Funk all the way from Tennessee. Chattanooga. Is it Chattanooga?
Putting the band back. Depends on what part of Chattanooga you're from.
Oh, it's not Chattanooga. It's the Nouga.
Oh yeah,
Nouga.
He's from the Nouga.
Yeah.
I thought you were from Murfreesboro.
No.
Oh, I thought we were talking about that last night. I thought that's what you mentioned to me originally.
Talking about I forget, we were talking about something. You were talking about somebody was from Murfreesboro.
Yeah, I got a friend that's from Murfreesboro, but I had first heard about Murfreesboro from you.
Yeah.
I'd never even heard of the place. So, we're gonna knock out another conspiracy theory show. I was thinking, Aaron, about doing these like maybe once every 3 months or something like that, kind of spread them out.
We're starting to read each other's minds, which is kind of scary.
Yeah.
Because that's what I was thinking too.
Well, you know, we have been together a long time, Aaron. I might know you better than your wife. In certain aspects.
Yeah. But I just want to remain friends.
Come on, it's California.
Yeah, that's right.
Be one of the young kids.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, man.
Lord works in mysterious ways.
We're about to hear from one of the end kids.
Yep.
Oh, all right. So P-Funk's on, and we're going to do conspiracy theories because they've been just piling up recently. And like to the point that I had so many conspiracy theories. I only brought in, I'm going to call it 1.5 because Gavin Newsom's not really a theory and it's just a blip. But yeah, I had much more I could have brought in, but I was like, we're not going to have time for all of this. So P-Funk shot what, 1 or 2 over, and Aaron shot 1 over.
I have an endless supply.
Oh yeah. He's our resident conspiracy theorist.
Yes.
Therapist.
Therapist.
That's right. Conspiracy therapist.
We have to talk it all out.
Well, you know what's become funny, and really I should go back and watch this movie because I've never seen it. That Mel Gibson conspiracy theory movie. Have you ever seen it, P-Funk?
What's the name of it?
I think it's conspiracy theory, but I could be wrong. Here, I'm gonna pull it up on IMDb, see if I can find it. But yeah, there you go. Boom. There's Sal on the bass. Mel Gibson. Let's see. Yeah, it's called Conspiracy Theory from 1997.
Is that the one? I think I have. It's been forever.
Yeah, I've never seen it, but now I'm starting to think I should go see it. Because man, they're piling up like crazy, but a lot of them, I'm going to say like 99.9% of them turn out to be true.
I think we should stop calling them conspiracy theories and call them unacknowledged, soon-to-be known facts.
Undocumented facts.
Undocumented facts. Undocumented forthcoming facts.
Yeah. That's well, or we could just call them dreamers.
Yeah.
Dreamer theories.
Some of the best forthtelling I've yet to see. No, the only one that I've not that the current one that Alex Jones was touting yesterday was that there was going to be a white supremacist attack on the border, which made no sense to me whatsoever.
Oh, I thought you were going to continue on. I was leaving you a spot there.
Well, it didn't happen. Happen. I mean, or it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah. Now, I was listening to Joe Rogan talking about Alex Jones, and he was like, he comes up with crazy stuff, but a lot of it's true. Me personally, I don't put much stock in Alex Jones, but I think he's hysterical to watch. I love watching him because he's so funny.
Well, I mean, he causes such commotion. It's great.
Maybe that's what it is. It's just how he stirs the pot. which I find funny because it's always some crazy far-fetched the lizard people are going to take over the country, and hey, while you're at it, you need to buy some product from Patriot Supply so you can save up to combat the lizard people. Yeah, it's always a way to tie in your. Now see, there is a guy, Hecklefish and AJ over at Y-Files. I give them far more credit than I would ever give Alex Jones.
Oh yeah, no, it's because he definitely balances both sides of the issue.
Right.
But anyways, no, no, it's I think a lot of this is just unacknowledged and undocumented facts that people are not ready to accept. So
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to show my son. He's 28. I showed him the video of some woman out in the UK. She's somebody in, a place of power, explaining how CBDCs are going to work and that they're going to, start trying to bring this in the next couple of years. And, you'll still be able to use cash for purchases under $1,000. However, you're in a gray market and you may go to jail for doing that. I showed him the video. He watched it and he went, "That's a conspiracy theory." And I went, "You just watched the video
from a government official.
From a government official, they're going to do it." Yeah, that's a conspiracy theory. They're doing it in China, right? I'm like, I just kind of threw up my hands. I'm like, "You don't believe me? Go Google it yourself, man." I said, it's being implemented in China right now. I just read yesterday that Japan foresees it being in place by the end of 24. They want to try it here in America. Who else is doing it? The UK is going to do it. I mean, they're really pushing for this thing. And my feeling on it is, take a look around and tell me how competent the government is. Why would you ever put them in charge of your money and your health care? Ever.
Never.
Ever.
And if you need an example of that, of why you shouldn't go to the post office.
Yeah, or the DMV.
The DMV.
Let's talk about some really streamlined government agencies. The DMV,
Nothing
the
against
post
people
office.
That work there. Love them to death.
No, it's not their fault. It's the bureaucracy that's involved, and the fact that just about any government employee, official or employee, once you're in, you're in. You're not getting fired. I mean, look at the incompetency at the top. Is Mayorkas getting fired? No. Are the people who targeted, innocent parents for speaking up at a school board meeting, are they getting fired? No. Nobody gets fired anymore. So what incentive would I, as a DMV employee, have to show up and do a good job? No, I'm going to show up, do what I have to do, get paid, and go home. That's it. That's it. That's the way it works. Anyways, but on that note, there is a government official who decided he wanted to take another route at a Target store and turn himself into a Karen. Now, I'm going to tell you, just because when I first read this story, I went, "That dude's a Karen." And I didn't hear anybody else say it until last night when Gutfeld was really pushing that Gavin would be the perfect name for a male Karen. Gavin Newsom. So here I'm just gonna let Gavin tell the story here. And let me share the screen so everybody can see.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it worked the last time. So and we didn't get canceled, so that's we may hear though.
Yeah,
because that's the whole object of the show.
All right,
to get canceled.
Oh, on Rock Salt? I'm not looking to get canceled on Rock Salt.
I'm just joking.
But let's see if we can make this work here. Okay. So, by the way, that's from ABC News 7 Bay Area. Here's the thing is that um, at the very end, he says what every Californian's thinking. I've said it. I've said it at the Walmart after I've checked out my own groceries. And the guy stops me at the door to check my receipt to make sure I did their job correctly. I'm like, why am I being stopped when I watch videos of people walking out of here, not running, walking out of here with TVs under their arms, and you do nothing to them? Nothing. That's my white privilege, by the way. That's my white privilege. Because I get to pay for and stop and check my receipt. But he's right to a point. I mean, it just shows how clueless he is, how out of touch with his constituents that he is when he says something like, well, why am I paying when that guy's walking out the door with it? Why aren't you stopping it? Now, here's the other thing is Newsom he lies as much as Biden. He's just a better liar.
I don't think Biden's a liar. I just think he just doesn't know what he says. He's just talking and words are coming out, and there's no thought behind anything that he says.
Yeah, but I mean, they're lies. You can't deny that they're lies.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyways, they're trying to get a law passed. I don't know if they passed it, but they were trying to get a law passed that would, in California, that would make it illegal for people who worked at the stores that are getting robbed to stop the robbers, because they need to leave it up to the police, for our safety. So we have a law that was voted in by Californians that made it a misdemeanor up to $950. It's a misdemeanor up to $950. They give them a ticket and send them on their way if they catch them. Also, you got DAs that refuse to prosecute. So there's no punishment. There's no reason to, there's no consequence. Gavin Newsom's clueless. He's lying to you. He's not stupid. He's lying to you that he doesn't know that bill existed. He's lying to you. Okay. Secondly, he took where she went wrong, where the Target employee went wrong, was asking for a picture. I wouldn't ask for a picture. Because now it flipped those tables and it gave him back the upper hand. But when she asked for a picture, and I would have said no too, by the way. When she asked for a picture and he said, no, we're having a conversation. Where's your manager? Because this is not the governor's fault. No, that was your Karen move. You could have turned her onto your side had you stopped and talked to her and maybe gave her your spiel, whether it was truth or lies or whatever. But whatever. Instead, I want to talk to the manager. Well, you know what? Now I want to talk to the Target employee because I want to find out what happened. He's out of touch.
Have they found the Target? Because that was the first thing I was thinking.
That's what I'm.
Video.
That's what I'm.
I was waiting.
She's smart. She got herself a PR person. She's going to make a couple of bucks off of this.
Yeah, it would be fantastic if we found out who that was.
Would love to see a debate between her and Gavin Newsom.
Oh man.
But I was listening to Megyn Kelly had Adam Carolla on this week talking about it. And I was trying to make sense of all this because he's a smart guy. I was like, why would you take the route of going to manager? Why would you just flat out deny? Why wouldn't you ask this person what they thought? And this is your voter. You got a prime opportunity here for a good PR move, finding out from one of your voters what's really going on, the whole thing. So Instead, he goes the Karen route. But I forget where I was going with this. But what I'm getting at is he's just clueless. He lives in this bubble. Oh, Adam Carolla said he is a narcissistic sociopath. And that was the moment I went, makes all makes sense now. He lives in his own bubble. He's a narcissistic sociopath. So instead of this voter telling him, hey, we got a problem over there, and really, you're the guy at the top and you should be fixing this. Instead, he went, let me talk to the manager because I'm the top one at the top. And she attacked me verbally. Right? Am I wrong? Am I looking at it the wrong way?
Again, he looks at himself as privileged. You know,
he is privileged.
He was the
I don't get to go to $400 meals at the French Laundry in the middle of the pandemic with no mask.
He was mayor. He didn't do that good of a job as mayor of San Francisco. And then he gets elected governor of California. And now it's a you could just see how well the debate went between him and DeSantis, because he thought he was going to walk into the debate and I'll just say what I want to say. And
yeah, but
everybody we went.
That was a good dry run for him, because now, see, if I was DeSantis, here's how I would have handled that.
Well, no, let's get back to the Gavin's issue.
All right,
because he thought he was going to walk into the debate and just a few talking points and I would win. And now the narrative is, Hannity invited him. Hey, let's do a little overtime. And Gavin's wife had to go. No, hey, we got to go.
Yeah.
We had to go. She had to save you.
Yeah. She's the Joe Biden.
Yeah. She's
come on, honey.
The narrative.
This way.
Yes.
Don't trip on the stairs.
That's the narrative. And so
I don't think a lot of these guys know what they're saying until the words come out of their mouth.
Okay. That could be true too.
I honestly think that Gavin is clueless. I think Adam Carolla nailed it. He's a narcissistic sociopath. He lives in his own bubble. He thinks he's doing a good job. He thinks he's being the bleeding heart to try to help everybody. He thinks that he's doing the right thing. He's also disconnected from reality that he doesn't see what his policies are doing to this state.
He also, I don't think he cares. He cares about three things: me, myself, and I.
No, he cares about, I want to be president.
That's true. He thinks he's going to be president.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to even think about him becoming president.
I'm gonna say this right now.
Okay.
For the rest of the country, if you want America to become California, vote Newsom. I'm telling you, it ain't no cakewalk.
I don't think he's going to get the opportunity.
Living in this state sucks.
Well, let's move on to our second.
By the way, real quick, because we were talking about Newsom for president.
Yeah.
One of the names being floated around is The Rock.
Yeah.
In the future. And
yeah.
I gotta tell you, I think just because I've seen how stupid people are, all people, don't even bother running against The Rock. Don't even bother. Save your money for the next election, because you ain't gonna win. There's no way. People are so starstruck that they'll just vote for him.
I don't know. I think he may have enough detractors. He would have to actually put in an effort.
Oh, I'm sure he'll put in an effort, but he's already, to use the white privilege, narrative. He's already so far ahead of everybody else just because of who he is and his name recognition.
Yeah.
Well, again, the great late Rush Limbaugh is right, I guess. The low information voter.
Yeah.
That's who's voting. I mean, he nailed it to a T. Huh?
That's a great band name, Low Information Voter.
You should start a side project just right around the election time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You are so correct with that.
It's like the low cash cowboys.
Yeah. You just ought to start a website, loadinformationvoter.com.
I'll tell you what I do.
Oh my gosh, we got to start that. I just put up all kinds of dumb stuff.
I tell you what I do. One of my hobbies is I create fake bands.
Okay.
I get on social media and I create them, and people start to follow them. Even though they don't exist.
You know, I've got a great band name. I love throwing this out. It's a total fake band name, but it's one of my favorites. Dictator and the Tots.
Nice.
That's a great punk band name, man.
That's it.
Like, you wouldn't go see Dictator and the Tots at the CBGBs.
So
okay,
we
I
just
guess not.
No, we just we were talking before we got on our little band name rant.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You know, about Gavin running for president. I sent you an article that came out this week.
Yeah.
That, let me give credit where credit is due. Mark Levin sent it to a bunch of people, and one of those people I listen to on a regular basis, and he mentioned it, and so I read it and I was like, this is really good. Me and Patrick from
Patrick Rivers,
you know, he has predicted there will not be a 2024 election. So I just, for fun, I sent it to him, and he's like, see, I was right. And I tell you what, that article, first of all, it took the guy, I think, a couple months to put that together, you know, and line everything up. But it's so true of what I've been saying for a while, that all the people in Biden's administration are all from Obama's administration. Yeah. And that is all key. And from 2016, I probably think 2015, they had set things in place against Trump and whoever the Republican nominee was going to be. So if Trump wasn't the nominee and it had been Senator Ted Cruz, they would have had stuff against him. And it's not. It has. I don't think it has anything to do with anti-Trump. It was going to be anti-nominee. Just Trump was the nominee.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, I agree with Rivers on that, and I agree for different reasons, but I don't think there will be a 2024 election.
Okay, here's my opinion. If there's not a 2024 election, there will be civil war.
Oh yeah,
I do.
That's my prediction.
That'll be the reason.
Yeah,
that'll be the reason for the civil war. Well, that and the border and something else. Can't think of it, but yeah. Be careful what you're going after here, because I don't think you're going to like the results. And I'm not calling for violence. I want peaceful, fair elections. That's what I want. And I want the best person to win, whether it's Republican or Democrat. In this case, Biden is not the best person. I did like Clinton. I voted for Clinton. And even when Obama took office, I didn't vote for him. I didn't want him because of his ties to William Ayers. But I felt Bush was so bad that I was like, well, let's give this guy a chance. Let's see what he can do. Let's give him a chance. Because I think we owe that to any new sitting president, is let's get behind him for the good of the country and see what he can do. And, you know, after his first 120 days or 6 months or whatever, then let's make a decision on how he's doing in the job. You didn't have to wait with Biden, though, because he did it day one. He shut everything down day one. So this article, it says on Sunday, January 14th, this is from Racket News, by the way. On Sunday, January 14th, NBC News ran an eye-catching story. Fears grow that Trump will use the military in dictatorial ways if he returns to the White House. It described a loose-knit network of public interest groups and lawmakers that is quietly making plans to foil any efforts to expand presidential power on the part of Donald Trump. Do you see the seeds being sown?
Oh yeah, yeah. This is this is another reason why I don't think there will be a 2024 election.
And the thing that everybody, well, first of all, this is driving me insane. And I don't want to say I'm a fan of Bill Maher, but I like Bill Maher because at least he usually comes with, something to back up what he's saying, usually. But I heard him spew that Trump said he's going to be a dictator thing. And I went, oh, come on, you're better than this. I watched the clip. Watch the whole clip. Sure. You want to just clip out that little part where he says, day one, I'm going to be a dictator. See, he's going to be a dictator. But no, he says, day one, I'm going to be a dictator, and we're going to drill, baby, drill, and close the border. After that, no more dictator. He was making a joke. He's got the power as president to do those things. So does Biden, by the way. Biden's just, by the way, I don't know if you guys know this. They haven't released the text of the bill yet, but it's being reported that this bill that Biden is saying that the Republicans won't pass to close the border allows 5,000 people through the border every day. It just says they're going to cut it off at 5,000. That's why the Republicans aren't voting for this thing. Because they want to close. It should be zero. There's plenty of ways to shore up that border. And I don't know. Are we the only country that's got open borders?
I don't know for sure, but it seems that way.
Sure does.
I think, other countries you see though, like England, Germany, I mean, they have allowed other countrymen in their country, and they're going through some problems because they have allowed people they didn't know to live in their country.
Well, I want to quote the late, great Ronald Reagan, whether you like him or not. And I'm paraphrasing here. You and I, the three of us, we could go to Japan or Germany or wherever, but we would never become German or Japanese. But everybody from those countries can come here and become Americans. And I have no grief or fault with anybody wanting to come here to be an American, to assimilate to our ways, to respect our laws, to adapt to our culture. I think it's the greatest gift that you could give a person. Because I've known a lot of people who have become Americans, but you can't go to Russia and become Russian. You can't go to Japan and be Japanese, but you can come to America to be an American. And I don't fault anybody for wanting to come here to be a part of it. What I do find disturbing is that, our border is so wide open, and a lot of the people that are coming across, that's not what they're not coming to be Americans. They're coming for other reasons. It is, just look what happened in New York. Great example. A lot of people are coming here to wreak havoc, and we have no clue who these people are, where they're going, or what they're doing. And it was reported this week that, that they let through the border a known terrorist, Hamas terrorist, and it took them a year to collect him. So,
well, are you following the illegal immigrants that beat up the cop?
Yeah, that's what I was referring to.
Anybody watch that? Did you watch that, Aaron?
Yeah, I've seen you talking about in New York?
Yeah.
Yeah,
where the mob came up and started kicking the cops.
Yeah.
And then turned around and gave the double mid. Then, they're coming to California. I was going to get to that. Then they turn around and give the double barrel middle finger to the cameras. a big F you to America. That's what he was saying. F you, America. That's what he was saying. You support it? You want to support all that? Are you serious? I mean, let's talk logically and in reality here. You support that? You went on forever about how Trump, quote unquote, said that they were all animals, which he didn't say. He said many of them are fine people. These guys, the MS-13, are animals.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not clueless. I'm sure there's some people coming over that want the better life. They want to be American. But I'm telling you, the majority of them are not.
You know, I think I'm glad the American people are tired of it, though, because there's no way the Republicans would have stopped this bill of 5,000 a day without getting a ton of phone calls or emails basically going, I'm not voting for you in the primary. I'm not voting for you in November if you don't vote to close the border and pass this bill. And so the American people have to force, not physically, but force by, telling their elected official what they think, to make this happen, where we're not doing this anymore. The number is 0, not 5,000, not 100, not 1,000, not 10,000, 0. And whatever you think about Greg Abbott's heroism in Texas, believe me, I don't think he wanted to do it either, but he likes his job.
Yeah.
And then when 25 other governors decided to support him,
which, by the way,
forced him.
I want to stop you for a second.
Go ahead.
1 second.
Go ahead.
Because that 25 number is really important. And people aren't focusing on that, on the real number. They're focusing on the 25. They're not focusing on the real number, which is a majority of America.
Yeah.
That'd be 26 states, counting Texas. The majority of America doesn't want this crap going on.
But you have to that's the question, is you got to figure out why is it happening. Go on, Aaron, finish your point there.
Please.
Well, why it's been going on? Because the American people have allowed it to happen.
I mean,
I'm tired of blaming the politicians. We elect the politicians. It's our problem. Now, Dave, we're in California. No matter how much we go around to this whole city of Sacramento and tell people not to vote,
they're going to vote blue.
That's right. And so
the further east you go and northeast, you get more red. But the problem, I was thinking about this. I was reading your Racket article here, which, by the way, can you link that in notes for the show so people can just go read it for themselves? Because there's a lot of info there. And but the thing is, I was thinking about the whole secession thing because it brings that up in the article, and how it talked about how California wanted to, or certain parts of California wants to secede.
Yeah.
And the problem with all of that is that these new states would be broke because the money in California is in Silicon Valley and Hollywood, the parts that they want to get away from. They don't bring a lot to the table once they secede. They're going to be broke.
Well, yeah, you're right. I mean, everybody's going to move there for free stuff, and then they're going to run out of money. I mean, we're looking at that in California now. We're a shortfall. But again, I'm glad the majority, as you said, of the American people are waking up. And again, it took leadership. No, if you want to bat a boy, Greg Abbott, because he started this, fine. But I don't think he was looking to finish it. But the American people got behind him and said, no, you need to finish this. Mm-hmm. It's sort of like that, you stand up to the bully.
Yeah.
And you're like, let's go outside after school. And and Greg Abbott was looking for the teacher to show up to stop the fight, and the teacher didn't show up, but all his friends did, and so now it's on. And I think the American people need to stand behind Greg Abbott and the rest of the governors that have said enough is enough. This is affecting America, not only Texas, not only Arizona, not only. Oh man,
He probably can't hear it.
yeah.
It's
Okay,
yeah. Okay, Abbott. Mama said knock them out.
you know, and I think he was, in my opinion, ready to go. Oh, we lost in the courts or whatever. And then DeSantis said, no.
Here, hold my beer.
Hold my beer. Let's go. You know, I tried to make America Florida, and that didn't work out. So I want to make Texas whole again.
Yeah.
Well,
the thing about your article there that I took out of it, and why I want people to read it, is it goes on to talk about how the left keeps saying this isn't going to be, what do they call it? It's going to be lawfare, not whatever else they're calling it, democracy, whatever. But they're also saying this could become a street fight. And there's a lot of articles when they're saying, no, a literal street fight. Now, if that ain't a quote unquote dog whistle to the radical extreme left, Antifa, BLM, what is? I mean, if we're going to use that argument on the Jan Sixers, and I don't support the crazy Jan Sixers either. Okay, the crazy ones. Now, the people that were just standing around like doing nothing. Yeah, those guys are wrongfully accused. But I mean, I don't know. I'm not 100% behind Chewbacca guy or whatever they call him, Anyways, that's my feeling on it. But the left's calling for street fights if they don't get their way.
Well, that's what they've always done.
Yeah, we're gonna burn it down again. I mean, how many times are we going to burn the city down? So, some blue-haired, crazy, confused person that didn't know if they woke up male or female that day gets their way. I'm sorry. I live in a organized society. I don't live in chaos like that. And anytime I see somebody with blue hair, orange hair, eggplant hair, boom, I immediately think, oh, that's a crazy lib. Where's their mask? Stay away from them. Don't even bother trying to engage with them.
Because they're part of a cult.
They're part of a cult, and they're incredibly stupid.
Well, that's what the Democratic Party is. And we need to wake up and understand this. They're not only a political party anymore. They're a cult. I mean, there are people in the fringe of a cult. They're like, no, we're not in a cult. We're just in a community of people who think alike, whatever. But the ones in the
cult,
the ones in the middle think it's a cult.
Yeah.
And will eventually invite them in, and next thing you know, they're doing stuff they don't want to do because they're involved in a cult. But I think the American people as a whole are starting to wake up to certain things. Not everything.
Well, the other thing because I want to move on to the next story. But the other thing that I took out of this article that I wanted to find, but the article is kind of lengthy and I couldn't find the paragraph, is how it talks about, and we already know this, but it talks about how the Democrat Party is saying out loud, saying that if you're an independent like Robert F. Kennedy or the two other candidates that I've never heard of, be prepared. Where if you have any bit of a skeleton in your closet, we're going to find it. You think that the background check to become governor was bad, we'll find more. If that ain't a threat to democracy, what is? What is? I don't hear Republicans saying that, although I know Republicans dig up dirt. Okay, but I don't hear them publicly saying, hey, if you run against us, we're going to make your life hell. True?
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, you have seen them do that to Trump. Like, if you want to run against us, this is what we're gonna put you through the meat grinder.
Yeah, and that article said that too. How they plan on just if he wins again, they're just planning on tying up his 4 years with him in court. Why? What good does this serve?
Well,
I mean, it serves no good.
Yeah, well, that's what they're up to. Quick question before we move on to the next subject. Ross Perot got 21% of the national vote when he ran. I think it was. Do you think RFK...
Get a word in.
Yeah.
Get a word in.
What? Well, they're watching my family.
By the way, I was one of the few that believed they were watching his family because I went, who is his opponent? Oh, yeah, George Bush, the head of the CIA.
No, do you think RFK gets more than 21? Breaks the record?
No.
Where are you at, P-Funk? No?
I like RFK. I just can't stand listening to him speak.
Okay.
Well, I
like what he says, but I can't tolerate his tone.
Okay.
I understand. I had the same conversation with somebody else who brought that up, and I went, well, can you really say I'm not going to vote for the guy because he had a disease that took away his voice when he was young?
No, it's not that. I mean, it's just reality. I mean, it's just.
But I also said
he's got some great points. I sit there and I listen to everything that he's done. I watched his Rogan interview. I watch anytime he speaks. I watch it. I'm just saying, as far as your low information voter, 60 seconds into him talking, they're gone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they could just do what Biden's team does and not let him speak. But the thing is now I lost it.
Sorry.
Anyways, no, it's okay. But it's not important anyways. If it was important, I would have remembered. But
so it's a no. He doesn't get
he doesn't break. No, he's run out of steam already, man.
Okay.
I mean, he might have a better shot in the next election, but this Trump Biden election.
Okay.
If you're a politician, if I was a politician and I see the Trump Biden election shoring up, I bail out. There is no reason to spend your money on this. You are not going to come out the victor.
It's a grudge match.
Yeah. You're not going to come out the victor on this thing. So, make your run, DeSantis, get your views out there, and then go to the back burner, because I think after this next 4 years, we might be ready for DeSantis. I'm pretty sure we're not going to be ready for Nikki Haley. She's about as left as they come. I think Vivek's, if Trump wins, I think Vivek gets a spot, and that's where he begins to shine and people start to recognize him more. That's what I think. He's not ready for president.
No,
but I think he could be one day. But I think he came out of the chutes too hot, pointing a finger at everybody and stirring everything up. And I loved it. Don't get me wrong, but it also made him look like he was a loose cannon. So,
because he is.
Yeah, he is a loose cannon. But I want a guy like Trump who he I don't want to say he's a loose cannon, because you can pretty much predict what he's going to do. But, he kept our enemies in line because they didn't know what he was going to do. And that's the kind of person you need. So I want a little bit of a loose cannon as far as that goes, but I want somebody that I I know is watching out for my interest, watching out for the American interest, and I have never had any problem with anybody saying America first because, I mean, you go to high school and don't they be true to your school, the Beach Boys used to sing, right? Don't they teach you that still in school that you need to be loyal to your school?
Committed.
Yeah, it's the same thing for America.
Yeah.
I want a president that makes America first. And I'm not taking that from Trump. I want any of them. I'll take a Democrat if it's America first.
Well, speaking of putting people first, move on to our next story. The people in Maui aren't being paid first, but part of me, and I'll just, this is my own opinion. This is not opinion of anybody else but Aaron. You get what you voted for.
I say that all the time.
You get what you voted for, and they know however bad it gets, you're still voting blue. So there's
well, that was going to be my question on this.
Okay.
To both of you. Does Biden lose Hawaii in this election because of this?
Oh yeah. I think this is one of the nails in his coffin.
Yeah. Now you're way more up on the Hawaii thing than I am. I haven't been following it.
I did watch that video. Very, very good. And I will link that video to the show notes for sure.
Yeah, Redacted is pretty good. Let's just cut to the chase of it. It's been 5 months. What's happened?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Zero.
Nothing. And things have not gotten better. They have gotten worse. They now have a tent city out there. It just seems to be popular among the left to have tent cities.
They love tents. Well, it's better on the environment.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
You're not using all those tools and wood and stuff like, you just pitch a tent.
The American people need to wake up. This is not some, foreign country that we're talking about that's in hiatus, that's in dire straits here. It's America. This is Hawaii. This is one of the 50 states that they have neglected for 5 months. Not a single payment. Not nothing. It's all this money going that people are raising for these people, and they're obviously not getting it.
And by the way, if any of those people didn't file their taxes by April 15th of this year, you think the government's going to wait? They ain't waiting. They want their money. Yeah. This is what I'm talking about with America First. This is a perfect example of we are letting Americans sleep in tents, waiting for a check that'll probably never come, while people who are not from America, as soon as you cross the border, you get free health care, you get your whatever it is, $1,300, $1,500 a month, you get a free cell phone, you get a free place to live. Granted, it may be a shelter, but it also could be, a vacant hotel room. So, this is what I'm talking about. We're letting Americans sleep in tents while we take care of people who have never paid one dime into the system.
It's crazy. It is crazy. This is a perfect example of what you're going to vote for in the next 4 years.
Yeah, I can't say it enough.
And what was and it's the same thing. What was where the big train wreck happened? I'm sorry, I'm not. It was
Palestine, Ohio.
Yeah.
Yes, it's same situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't really done anything there either.
Yeah, exactly. I was so upset when that happened. So upset because we just there's no money there. So you know what? Screw them.
Yeah, you got not just one example, you have two.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to assume that there's probably no train tracks running through the Hamptons, but if there was, and that happened in the Hamptons, it would be cleaned up, taken care of already. by the same illegal immigrants that we ship up there. But
Everybody's got an opportunity to work, I guess.
exactly. See, put me in charge.
I tell you what scares me though, because I think we're reaching, we were talking about being a tyrant. I think that's probably, the only way that we're probably going to be able to get out of some of these situations is being a little tyrannical,
Well,
with a mass deportation. There's got to be a mass deportation in America. And
I don't think that's tyrannical.
I don't think it's tyrannical, but it's going to be perceived as tyrannical. We've got to get we got just imagine how many potential insurgents we have within our borders. Imagine, because this week they were touting that China's about to, Chinese hackers, let me just say,
yeah,
are preparing to attack our grid. Well, what happens if you had not only the Chinese attacking our grid, but you also had a couple of thousand undocumented illegal immigrants who are here actually for the purpose of terrorism? And I don't know if y'all remember post 9/11, they caught a group of men from the Middle East going around the South taking photos of buildings. Do y'all remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, I remember something like that.
Yeah, they caught, and there were several groups of them going around the United States taking pictures, and they caught them. So, I mean, the legwork's already been done.
Yeah, if you don't think terrorists are coming through with the migrants, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
No, okay.
You're in denial of reality.
Yeah, they're coming through unchecked. Megyn Kelly had a defense attorney on with another attorney, and they were all talking about the guys from New York that had beat up these cops and then jumped the bus to head to California. This defense attorney, and I get it, he's playing his role, but he's going on about the zero bail out there. None of these people, they were arrested and then immediately let go. And so they got zero bail, and he clearly, because he's a defense attorney, is in support of zero bail, but he's trying to play that role in the debate. Okay. And he's like, well, innocent until proven guilty. These people had a right, and he goes, bail's only there to, make sure you come back to court. We don't have any reason to believe that they're not coming back. And Megyn Kelly said, I have a reason to believe they got on a bus to California.
Oh, I gotta go. I gotta go back.
And the attorney,
I gotta go back.
The attorney was saying,
I got court and tomorrow.
Yeah. And the defense attorney was saying, yeah, but that doesn't tell you that they could come back. And like, they took little money. Yeah, they took what little money they had to catch a bus across America, 3,000 miles. I don't think they're going to pay for that ticket back.
Again, these people do not know what they're saying until the words come out of their mouth. They don't even know. I mean, it's insanity. It's insanity. All right. So, P-Funk, you think there's not going to be a 24 election? No.
All right, Aaron.
This is my conspiracy theory for this year.
All right.
I think what will happen. I think there's a couple of things that will happen. I think there will be some sort of. I think it's a combination of things. I think that we're going to have a true Star Wars Emperor Palpatine situation. I think we're going to have a threat from outside. We're going to have a threat from within, a twofold threat from within. Of course, I think they're going to try to clamp it down for martial law by the time we get to November, because we're going to have insurgents within our borders. We're going to be on the brink of civil war. And plus, we're going to be on the verge of World War III if we're not already in it. And we can't change commander in chief mid whatever. I'm not 100% on this, but I see some sort of scenario unfolding there to where they if there is an election, I think it's just going to be so rigged and fixed. It's man, who in the right mind is happy with the amount of money that they're having to pay for food and gas and interest on things? I mean,
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you, I keep seeing comments out there. I saw them all yesterday when the jobs report came out. Oh, look, we added 300,000 jobs. See, Biden, great president. It's like, come on, bro. You think jobs
300.
is the only ingredient into the economy? But
Okay.
highest in history. Now, well, when everybody was out of work, sure, I get it. Oh, let's not forget to talk about the people that are picking up second and third jobs.
That's exactly where I was going to go. It's like, yeah, 300,000 second jobs.
Yeah. And these are not good paying jobs. These are Uber, Lyft, McDonald's, which by the way, McDonald's is now becoming a good job out here in California with it bumped up to $20. Everybody else out here making $18 an hour, but if you work in the restaurant industry, you get 20. I don't know how that's legal, but some courts determined it was legal. But what's happening there was like there's a Subway franchise owner from Redding, California, and he just closed down 18 stores, all of his stores, 18 stores, and his headquarters because the price of labor went up to $20 an hour. He's like, I can't afford it anymore. Shut it down.
There go your jobs.
Well, maybe you can go find yourself another $20 job. But guess what? AI and robots are coming in to flip burgers and take orders. And honestly, when I go to McDonald's, I don't care. I don't care if I'm talking to a human being or not. I just want my hamburger so I can get out of there.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, I get it. No,
Now, if I go to an expensive restaurant, Olive Garden,
yeah.
I'll be honest.
I want a person. But
I don't want to think about not having a 2024 election. I'm praying that my God that I serve will intervene. And we will have an election.
Oh, I thought you meant take you home.
No.
I'm gonna flip this to a spiritual side here for a moment.
Okay.
If you don't
Okay.
mind.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
think what America really needs to be praying for right now, and that would help everybody in America, is to pray that China has well, they're in the middle of an economic collapse right now.
Let them collapse.
And I mean, there's all kinds of reports coming out, government workers haven't been paid in months. And I know from some of my personal interactions with Chinese manufacturers, some of those workers over there are in the same situation in the manufacturing. Because, the Evergreen company that had, like the biggest real estate company in China just went under. So
yeah, that's big news.
Yeah, so what we should be praying for is that the people of China finally stand up to the CCP and have a revolution there as peacefully as they can.
I don't think it's going to happen because the last time they tried it, it didn't work out so well.
Well, this is where we need God to intervene. This is where we need something miraculous to happen there. And I'm saying, yeah, I know what you're talking about, Tiananmen Square and all that. But man, there's so much discontent over there. There's got to be, they need something. We need something because if China goes off the board, then America has one less enemy in the Pacific in the world to have to worry about.
Well,
and I think there could be a great revival potentially happening in China if the right circumstances are allowed to happen.
I don't foresee that happening. And I have this conversation with my neighbor who's from Iran all the time because we talk about the unrest and how the people feel in Iran. They don't like the government there either. And I go, well, at some point, I think the people are just going to have to rise up. You have the power. There's plenty of people there.
Mm-hmm.
And when Kirby and Biden over here were like, we're going to take the AR-15s. You're going to stand up against an F-15? Oh, what? You're going to pull F-15s on Americans? Or is that what you're saying? Or, I don't know. There's a bunch of terrorists over in the Middle East that seem to hold you off pretty well. You don't seem to, conquer them. Trump did. You didn't. Obama didn't. They flourished. They grew. It don't, that right there was a pissing contest when Biden said that. You're going to take on an F-15? That's just saying my gun's bigger than your gun. So, that's all he's saying. I am not calling for a coup. I'm not calling for violence. I'm not calling for any of that. So the crazy blue hairs, you can just get that out of your head. But what I am saying is the people have always had the power. It's the elites that tell you don't.
Well, and that's the problem in America right now. And I'll close that on the China thing. I think we should be praying for some change there. But that's the problem right now. We have no faith in the ballots. We have no faith in our in our election system right now.
They don't want any faith in the election. I reading that Racket article, I was thinking to myself, and I've thought this to myself a lot lately, but Democrats are the ones that keep coming out going, Trump's a threat to democracy. This is a threat to democracy. That's a threat to democracy. The sun coming up every day is a threat to democracy. Whatever it is, climate change, threat to democracy. It's their talking point. It catches your ear. And there's too many stupid liberals out there that don't bother. They don't even know what democracy is. They couldn't define it for you. Just like Nikki Haley and Vivek Ramaswamy.
That would be great on Gutfeld. Man on the street, what's democracy?
What's democracy?
And that would be so funny.
And but if you look, I mean, I will challenge anybody to give me points that Trump has threatened democracy or Republicans have threatened democracy. But I can, off the top of my head, give you points that where Democrats have done that. Pulling Trump off the ballot. That's not their place. That's the Americans' place. That's our place to say who we're going to vote for, not the government. This we're gonna dig so deep into your closets and dig up so much dirt on you that you're gonna want to drop out of this race before you ever have a chance. Oh, that's not a threat to democracy. I'm not saying Republicans don't do it, but they didn't say it in an article. I mean, come on.
I want to get back to your point about, who believes in elections. Well, we've had 2 elections in the 2024 cycle, and there's been extremely low voter turnout. And so maybe it's because the nominees have been decided. But again, I think it has to do with lack of faith in our elections. I think Tucker has been saying this for a while. When we don't have faith in elections, that's when we'll have civil unrest in this country. And that could happen if we lose total lack of trust in elections. And to go back to praying for China, I have long believed that, we have to have revival or bust in this country. We have to get back to, if we're not going to become the Christian country I think we once were, we at least have to respect the laws.
I'm going to give an unpopular opinion here. My unpopular opinion. In the 80s, we had the moral majority, right?
Yes.
Okay. I was not a fan. And usually when the words moral majority came up, I go, all right, what do they want to do now? Okay. And I'll give you examples of why I wasn't for it. Okay. As I'm older, I understand why they did what they did, but I was not in support of it. Um, Pulling people off of TV that they didn't like, banning music that they didn't like.
PMRC.
Yeah, PMRC, which was Democrat, by the way, run by Tipper Gore. That's a Democrat. So this stuff started back in the 80s and 90s.
The
But
wife of the man who invented the internet.
yeah, and then flies his jet around so he can tell you how bad climate change is and you shouldn't drive a car. But yeah,
So what would we have in the 90s then?
Well, we still had the remnants. We were still coming out of Satanic Panic and all that.
Okay.
But what I'm getting at was the I remember having a conversation with one of these people that was hot on banning pornography. Now, say what you will about pornography. I'm not going to side one way or the other right now because that's not my point. My point is, as an American, if somebody wants, and it's legal, if somebody wants to buy a Playboy, that's their right. That's their right. You don't have to like it. But we did have laws in place that put those magazines behind counters. You couldn't be under 18, all those things. Okay. I'm not talking about the adult business industry or the dirty side of that. I'm simply talking about a dude that wants to go buy a magazine. And as an American, whether I agree with it or not, that's his right. And for a group of people to come out and go, I want Howard Stern taken off the air because I don't like what he's saying and he's offensive, my immediate response was, well, what about Pat Robertson? Because I'm not a fan of that dude at all. Everything that dude said, in my opinion, was garbage. And it was only done so he could make more money. So I find Pat Robertson quite offensive. When are we pulling him off the air? See, this is my point, is you could call for censorship or rigged elections or whatever you want, all you want, but eventually it's going to turn back on you.
Now, how let me play devil's advocate here with you. Would you be for campaigning against buying such magazine or whatever so they don't make any money and go out of business?
Yes.
Okay.
Because that is, you saw it with Bud Light. It was fantastic to watch. It was awesome to watch. And what's Bud Light doing now? They're ripping their chest hair out, going, look, I'm a dude. I'm a guy just like you. I like 4-wheel drive trucks and fishing and football.
And I ain't tucking my candy.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, I always say, let the market speak for itself. Okay. And Howard Stern, while he was offensive, he had a huge audience. Was he saying things that were, positive? No. But he had a huge audience. He had a right to say what he was saying, and people had a right to listen to him.
Or ignore him.
And if you don't like it, go away. You want to campaign against him? You want to start a boycott? Hey, if it gains steam, I'll for it. Keep it peaceful. Do it the right way. That's what America's about.
Well, I think
Speaking of, go ahead.
No,
go ahead. No, I was going to move into somewhere else. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I think the biggest thing, whether it be pornography, drugs, or whatever it is, the cure to all of it is education.
Yeah.
That solves, educating people on it solves a lot of issues. I'm of the mindset, if you don't like it, don't buy it, don't read it. And it's like, well, how can you, it's evil. Well, yeah, there's lots of things that are evil. God gave man a choice. You have a choice to choose not to. And just because someone else chooses to, that's a tough one. I can't decide for you what you can and cannot do or choose. That's the whole point. God wants us, whether you're Presbyterian or you're for Calvinist or whatever, to me, I'm not a Calvinist, but I think God would prefer that you, and I think with your wives and your children, you would prefer that they choose to love you, that they choose to do what's right, that they choose, and when there's so much I could say here, legislation and morality, blah, 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 blah. I think it all goes back to the individual. We got to do what's best for ourselves and everybody. And it's that double edge of freedom. If you can ban one book, for being pornographic, you can ban the Bible because the Bible has sex, murder, incest, rape, mutilation. It's all in there. So you ban one thing, you ban another. So.
Yeah. Well, on the election thing, here's my thing is if they're looking for a tyrannical dictator or socialist or whatever, so much um so little confidence, I should say. So little confidence in our election process will deteriorate it to the point of the government will step in like they do with everything else and say, don't worry about it. We got it for you.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's like that. It's the funniest clip that politician who got up there decided he wanted to quote Ronald Reagan, but he was quoting him wrong, which was only proving Ronald Reagan's point, which was the quote is from Reagan. There's the 9 scariest words in the English language are I'm here from the government and I'm here to help. And this guy said, in the immortal words of Ronald Reagan, I'm here from the government and I'm here to help. And everybody went, no, it's not what it means, bro. It means you're the problem.
I used to have that T-shirt.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of helping Biden, and we just can't get away with it if you're a sports fan, is the Taylor Swift psyop thing or whatever. I
don't know. I haven't been following this all that much. I've heard it thrown around and I thought it was funny.
It's a great meme, but I don't think it has a whole lot of bearing in reality.
Yeah. No, let's do this. Let's say this, though. I think we can all agree on this. The media is saying that the Democrats are starting to lean on Taylor because she's left leaning and she is a super influencer and she can get her Swifties to go out and vote however she tells them to. I could totally see that. See that. Yeah. Another cult. But here's my conspiracy theory on Taylor Swift and the Kansas City Chiefs. And I take this based on the fact that I worked in media for a long time and I've seen a lot of publicity stunts, and this screams publicity stunt to me, which is a PR person put Kelsey and Swift together. And it's helped her career. It's helped his career. It's helped the Chiefs. It's brought a lot of positive attention. I don't mean negative. I mean, Kaepernick brought the negative. She's brought a lot of positive attention back to NFL. It's good for all. Okay. But I don't think these two are truly in love with each other. And my prediction is that the Chiefs lose a Super Bowl and Taylor Swift dumps Kelsey because, as this is my prediction, as Taylor would put it, I don't date no losers. And the next album is already written.
Okay.
It's already written. I promise you. All the bad things Kelsey did to me.
Well, Tim Pool did the breakdown on this. I thought it was pretty good. And if I find the link, I'll send it to you. She might be able to rally a few thousand, but it's not going to be millions because a lot of her fans, are not
Teenage
really,
girls.
yeah, teenage girls, not necessarily voting age. A lot of foreign, a lot of international fans. So she might be able to drum up a few thousand fans to go get out and go vote, but I don't I don't think she's necessarily a threat. It was it's also she's what 36 years old. She's
I
she's
don't know.
probably looking. She's probably at some point in the next few years she's going to want to start nesting and having children before she gets too old. So I
I don't
know.
know. I don't know, man. I think she's and while these people have had children, I think she's more in the Madonna and Cher realm where they kind of like Gavin Newsom, they just live in their own bubble and
Possible.
they're out of touch with reality. And by the way, you can't 100% blame them because uh the people that surround them keep them in that bubble. They're
Sure.
surrounded by yes men, just like
Elvis bubble.
yeah, Elvis, Prince, Michael Jackson, you name it. All the crazies out there were surrounded by yes people, and that's why they're crazy because they don't understand that uh, stuff doesn't work that way because
Yeah.
they've never been told no. Um, so okay, so real quick because we didn't dive into this too much, is Taylor Swift a psyop to direct your attention away from what's really going on?
Well, we're not talking about Hunter anymore now, are we?
Oh,
Good point.
man.
Good point.
There's something, but again, the Super Bowl's in a couple weeks, and unless they get engaged, and we keep talking about them through the summer, and end up having a love child, as you said, she's got to be thinking, if I want to have some kids, I got to start doing that.
Well, I mean, let's look at the positive. If those two do have a kid, it's going to be very talented.
True. And if someone joked on a show I was listening to this week, it would be gender neutral if they had a kid. And I thought that was extremely funny. It was funny. They would have this love child, and everybody would be like, "Oh, this is so great!" And then they would come out and announce, "But it's gender neutral," and everybody would like, "Really?"
Yeah.
And so I think everybody loves a love story,
Yeah.
and that's what this is. It's a national love story from a young lady who's been jilted because of her fault or their fault or whatever. But I think everybody loves love story. And how I heard is he's got this, he had a crush on her, and he went and saw her actually when she came to Kansas City, and he wanted to meet her and didn't get the opportunity. And someone, as you said in the media, told her about this, and then they started talking or whatever, and then they met.
Yeah.
And that's how this started.
Well, maybe I'm wrong. I don't think I am though.
Okay. It's all
There's a
set up.
there's a Travis Kelce album in our future.
Oh, we could.
I mean, it's just like the WWE or something like that, where they do all these
Right?
great storylines, heroes and villains and romances, and I don't know,
Yeah. Well,
I don't think
he's
she
not
could drum up
Macho
that many
Man and
votes.
she's not Elizabeth. So, but as I say, every hero needs a villain. So let's wrap it up with that.
Yeah.
All right. P Funk, thanks for coming on. Faithhead is the band. What's your latest? What do you got going on?
We released a new single back at the 1st of December. It's Aberrations of Reality. We're diligently trying to finish this album. Hopefully it'll be out sometime 1st of April. Keep your fingers crossed. We're hoping to start hitting the road again sometime at the end of April here in Yon. Just go to faithhead.com and sign up to our newsletter. Download our single for free just for signing up to be on our mailing list. And like I said, just we're just trying to get an album done so we can talk about all this sick crap that we're dealing with in our world. We'll be releasing the album title, introducing some new members, and all that stuff over the next couple of weeks. So
Cool.
That's great. And your Substack is
P-Funk, yeah, you just include a link. I haven't written anything in a while because things have been going so fast. It's hard to time I go down the path on one thing. I'm like, crap, I got to go over here and investigate this. But I am thinking about writing one on a potential non-2024 election, or it's going to be the angle of why is our government allowing all these people into our country for what purpose, and going down deep state.
Well, all right, that's a show for another day. I have got my opinion. Anyways, thank you for coming on, and happy trails.
Happy trails, everybody.